tried to analyze his playing.
Yeah. You gonna tell me, or what?
No, well, the only thing I can come up with, and I'm not being derogatory, believe me, is that I think he just gets so carried away.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he just plays harder than any pianist I've ever seen.
He just gets into it and plays, and every chorus gets harder and harder and harder. You know, you can get into that. I think it's enough trouble to just play, and especially if you get up to, this type of tempo. I always thought that when you get into that type of tempo, where it's stratospheric, you don't play that hard because it's a lot harder to get in between these keys and to get over them.
Yeah. Lately, you've been composing a lot more tunes than playing standards. Mm-hmm. Play one. Will you?
One of my tunes?
Yeah, one of your tunes. On a tune like that, will you have written it, in fact, as a piano piece, or will you have written it as a song, lyrics and all that?
That one as a piano piece.
That one is, but it could have a lyric. It's a lovely melody. What you call that?
Wheatland.
Oh, is that part of the Canadian?
The Canadian Annis, right. But that originally was written selfishly as a piano piece,
That has several movements. That has.
Oh yeah, actually it was a very small suite that contained, I don't know, 10 pieces.
It had a knockout blues in it.
The
Play that.
Hogtown Blues?
Yeah. you.
Funnily enough, Andre, that was written with a big band in mind.
Oh, sure.
Right. And, so you're affected different ways by...
You have a huge hand. What can you span easily without trying?
Easily 11.
Filled out, too?
Yeah.
You don't have to break it. You just come up from above it like that.
Yeah. Well, I also...
For that's sake.
we're talking about Teddy Wilson a little while ago, who was the master of the, right?
Yeah.
Broken tense.
Yeah.
I found that I was frustrated trying to play the walking tense. Yes. It sounded like... So in trying to stretch my hand when I was a youngster, I found I could walk by using the second finger.
Oh, so you play tense with 4 on the thumb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it gives it a little more of a legato. Rather than...
Yeah. It's also very difficult to do, by the way.
Yeah, but if you can get it down, then you can walk without that choppy feeling going.
Do you use that quite a lot when you play solo piano? That bass and stride?
Oh yeah,
piano
I
and all
use
that? That's nice. It seems to me one of the prerequisites for a jazz pianist playing alone is to have some kind of a big hand. I mean, just physically a big hand. Somebody like Bud Powell, for instance, who was, a phenomenal player. But I never heard him play alone, really.
No, not really. He might play the intro to a tune, but,
Oh, yeah.
Bud was the master, as you know, of this.
Yes.
That sort of thing. With the,
Yeah. Well, he used it the way you use tense.
Right.
But was that because did he have a small hand? I don't remember.
I don't really remember, but I know that that was an accepted way of playing when you had a bassist playing. None of this, as you know.
Yeah. No, that I don't like that one.
You don't like that one, right?
No. Did you ever play in the movies? Did you ever do films?
I know, I haven't.
Never.
I've never written.
It's funny. It occurs to me that not long ago somebody was talking about the fact that there's never been a film that showed a classical musician correctly. I mean, there's Cornell Wilde spitting blood on the keys and all that, but there's never been there's never been really anything that relates to the way a classical musician lives. And in thinking about this program, it occurred to me that even at that, the way jazz has been handled in films is really revolting. I mean, I was looking for a film clip on Art Tatum because I knew that you and I would spend a lot of time.
That's right.
And so the only thing there is on Tatum on film is a clip from a picture called The Fabulous Dorseys, in which there's a thing of Tommy or Jimmy Dorsey saying, "Let's go hear Art Tatum," and then they cut to a sign outside that says, "Art Tatum tonight." Then you see Art play 2 bars, and then the Dorseys are playing again. I mean, now who asked them? And it's it's incredible.
Well, it's always been treated to me. I'm used to that sort of approach because I always, whenever I can remember as a youngster when I'd see such a movie starring so and so and featuring so and so's group, or I knew that the minute they came on, if it was a nightclub, somebody was going to get up and dance. The guy, the lead would take the girl in his arms and go out on the floor after 4 bars and start talking to her.
Yeah.
Or a waiter would start whistling, or the choreens would come out. One of these things, or somebody would get shot. That's usually the way it is.
Yes.
It's the same, ironically enough, at home, it's the same problem on television, right?
Oh, yes, because there's a lot of jazz scores now on television, but they're always, every time you hear jazz played in the background score, it's a safe bet that somebody's stealing hubcaps on the screen.
That's right, and even doing jazz programs, I found that doing a guest appearance in many cases at home, I remember